can getting healthy actually save you money? Well, that's a good question. This is Kirk, the bariatric carnivore. What I have found in my journey to getting healthy is it actually saves me several $1,000s a year. Here's how I do it. Instead of having regular insurance, which is supposed to pay for copays and lower costs for medicines and all that type of stuff, I frankly fired my doctor. I didn't need him anymore. I figured out that what they were doing really couldn't make me healthy. I had to do that myself through lifestyle. When I began the journey, I weighed over 300 pounds and was on over 10 medications. As I got healthier and healthier, I slowly but surely got off those medications and frankly no longer needed to see a doctor on a regular basis. But I still needed some sort of health insurance in case something catastrophically went wrong. The number one cause of bankruptcy in the United States are medical bills. One auto wreck, falling off a roof, major accident or something like that can just absolutely wipe you out. So I needed some sort of protection, but I didn't want to have the standard medical care, medical insurance that most people have. Frankly, because I didn't need to worry about copays. I didn't need to worry about prescription drugs or anything else. All I wanted was catastrophic medical care. But all the healthcare policies ran about on average in the United States right now, they run about $800 a month for anybody who's self-insured. So, and then frankly, you're very limited as to what type of care you can get. You have to go through a primary care physician who has to refer you to the specialist, and they have to be in network and all these other expenses. And that's not the way I operated. I wanted to be able to meet with people that I wanted to meet with and I wanted to talk to. So what do? Is there a cheaper alternative? And thankfully there is. There are a thing called defined benefit plans. Now, the average cost of health insurance is $800 for a person who's self-employed, who's paying for their own insurance. But if you're doing my type of plan, it's only $200 a month. So that's a savings of over $600 a month. Now, what does my defined benefit policy get me? Well, it only kicks in if I get medical bills over $5,000. It may seem like a whole heck of a lot, but what I've done is I take the money that I save and I put it in a medical savings account. So I've got $5,000 in my medical IRA that's sitting there in case of medical emergencies. So I've got that taken care of. Now, most people who have health insurance find out that even with really good coverage, if you have a major emergency, the bills really add up. You go to the emergency room, you've got copays there. There are things that insurance doesn't cover and you're on the hook for them. You have to go to a different specialty. And by the time you're done in rehab and everything else, you've got $20,000, $30,000 of medical bills that are just not covered by insurance. You thought you were covered, but really during a major emergency, you're not covered. I am. See, my program doesn't kick in until I have over $5,000 expenses in an entire year. And once I reach that point, I just go to the people that I need to go to, and they pay after $5,000. So it's a better system that actually protects me better than I would normally. And you may be saying, well, what happens if you cut your foot? What happens if you need stitches or you need some emergency care? Well, I just go to urgent care, and I pay for it using tax-deductible funds from my medical savings account. So I'm covered, and anytime I want to do something like, for instance, I had a very odd blood test this last year, and I needed some good advice as to what I needed to do about it. So I set up an online call with the best doc I could find, and it cost me $100. And again, I paid for that through the credit card that I get with my medical savings account. So I am covered for major medical expenses. Any type of expenses that I have under $5,000 gets paid for with my medical savings account, and frankly, I'm saving a great deal of money. Now, with a looming recession, a lot of people are thinking might lose their job, which means they're going to lose their health care coverage. Well, what do you do in that type of situation? Really, frankly, one of the best reasons to get healthy now, before any pending recession, is just break up your relationship with your doctor. Frankly, your doctor's not going to get you healthy. They practice idiopathic medicine, which means you show up with a problem and they give you a drug. Well, when you no longer have problems because you're healthy, you don't need to see your doctor. I can't think of a good reason to go have a regular physician if you don't have any medical problems. I mean, I have, before I go to the emergency room, I triage myself. I can check my blood pressure. I can check my temperature. I can check my pulse ox. All these are things that you've got at home, which is exactly what they're going to do to you at the emergency room to assess you to see if you're going to need to be seen by a doc. So unless there's really a real medical emergency, fever of over 103, blood pressure out of control, no, low pulse, no blood oxygen going through your system or something like that, I frankly don't really need to go to the emergency room. And if I ever need, to get stitched up, I can just go to the urgent care center. So take the money that you save and put it in a medical savings account, and frankly, I think you're going to be better off and better protected. But this only works if you're healthy. And the only way to get healthy is to have a good lifestyle. And the only way to get a good lifestyle is to eat right, get some sleep, and exercise. And that's what this channel is all about. This is Kirk with the Bariatric Carnivore. If you like this message, please hit the like button, subscribe. We will be doing more messages on how to get healthy and how to save money doing so.